Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. For those who are new around here, my name is Chris. I'm a full-time eBay reseller and retro games collector. So in today's video, what I like to do when I'm listing my items, I like to batch them all up. So one time I'll list just consoles and I'll test all the consoles. One time it'll be action figures, one time it'll be video games. So in today's videos, we're going to do board games. So what I'll do, we're getting quite a backlog of board games, especially this time of year. Board games are really good sellers. So I'll pick out a load of board games that I want to list. I'll show you what we do, how we get everything ready, and then go from there. These are the board games we want to list up first. What you need to do when you're listing board games is make sure all the pieces are there. You're getting lots of clear photographs, and you can see all the stuff that's inside. So if there's ever missing pieces, I do have other board games I keep up there that have spare parts in. Sometimes it's worth also just picking up the loose pieces you need online and then completing the set. So these are the ones we do. I tend to sell a lot of Monopoly, a lot of vintage board games I do well with. Especially, like I said before, especially this time of year, board games are a big one with Christmas coming up. We've sold a lot of them already and we'll get into listing some board games. So what I'll do when I lay it out, I'll first take out photos of the front and back. Always try to include any damage that's in the box. And like I said, make sure all the pieces are in there. So this time we're good. So this is Monopoly Gamer Edition. So it has all the cards there, the extra cards. Most board games, when they have the instructions, they'll show you on the front the contents. So just make sure that all the stuff that's originally in the board game is included inside. So this will be my cover photograph, essentially this. So it shows the people who are buying it, they buy with confidence. All my board games are listed exactly the same. Key thing for me is everything's uniform listed on my shop. Everything looks the same. Make sure you put it in the listing itself. It's 100% complete. It has been checked, and it just adds to people's buyer confidence. But this is the first one. We did check one here. This is a Screwball Scrabble based on a vintage game. That was missing balls. So what I'll do, I'll put a little note inside the box when I put it up there, exactly what's missing, so I know I can make a note to myself. If I get any marbles, it's worth picking up some ball bearings, then I'll get them for that. But if not, then I've got it for spares and stuff. So that's the first board game down. We've got 10 more to go. When you're listing older board games like this, and especially ones that have been on the game for a long time, like Monopoly and stuff, always try and remember to include the year they were made. Most of these you'll either find on the actual board itself or on the box. There's always a little indication somewhere, a copyright or that kind of thing. There we go with this one. We have 1983, so that helps people looking for specific versions of a game. So I always like to try and include the year it was made as well. Just a little extra tip there. The thing to remember as well, always look under the tray. So sometimes you'll be missing pieces and they might just be under the tray. Even if it's just one tiny piece, that can make a difference. A real difference between being able to list a board game and not being able to list a board game. So that is one thing I would definitely recommend as well. This one is complete and all ready to go again. So we're getting, my first photo will be this again. Basically this photograph just in a square 1:1 ratio. So you're making sure you get everything in. You can take closer photos. So I'll take loads of photos of different parts inside. Make sure it's listed so it includes all that it's 100% complete, the year and everything like that. So they're some of the key things you need to remember. With the photographs, it's down to personal preference. I like to keep it all the same layout. So I'll have the board in the background. I'll have all the pieces on the actual... I'll have the box on the background, sorry. I'll have the instruction manual if it's there just to the side. All the pieces on the board. Sometimes I'll take photographs of the actual board as well. Especially the older ones. It's the condition people want them in. So make sure, never be shy if there's any damage or anything like that. Make sure you include that in the photographs, so you're not getting your returns, and it's not wasting your time as a seller having to take refunds, and you're not wasting the time of the buyer. And then make sure you're getting the good feedback, which all counts as well. Another thing I like to do is use these little clear bags, so you can pick them up for a penny each. You can buy hundreds of them, and once I've kind of checked something, I like to kind of bag it up. So I'll put all the houses and hotels together, and just to keeps it tidy, keeps it fresh. I just like the way it looks as well. So I think it matters to me. And it also matters the presentation when you're listing it as well. They forget the photo, the first photo they see is normally what sells it. So making sure everything's clear, well presented, neat, and I think that really does help. Because a lot of these board games, you compete against hundreds and hundreds of other board games. So I think the first photo is really the key one to kind of show everything. Make sure it's all in focus. Make sure there's good light. Make sure everything's inside the photograph, and make sure you take plenty of photographs as well. You get a limit of 12. I try and use as many as possible. So I just think it really helps and makes it stand out from the crowd of the other listings. So here we are again. We have the layout. Like I said before, uniforms. Everything's the same. Just this is a different board game. So we've got the box at the back, the instruction manuals, all the money's checked, all the houses are checked, all the cards are laid out, making sure that all the right cards are there, because nothing worse than getting a Monopoly and it's missing cards. All the moving pieces are there, the dice are there. I do have a massive bag of dice that I bought just in case I'm having a short dice or two. So there we have it there, lovely laid out. Make sure it's a uniform and perfect. So thank you very much. What did you think about my listing board games? So like I said before, the key things to remember are good first photograph. eBay in general, I take all my photos in a 1-to-1 ratio, good light, take minimum 4, as many as possible, making sure when you list in the board games, any damage that are on the box, try and remember to get the year in there, and always make sure you try and keep spares. Nothing should be thrown away. Anything can always be parted out. If you're ever missing 1 or 2 pieces, there's loads of listings on eBay where people part out board games. So if it's £20 or a £30 game and you can pick the missing part up for £2, it always makes sense. Like I say, always clear photographs. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.